See your face okay? That'll take care of it, won't it?
Is it big cup? No. What do you want? They really are they I would like to have yours, but I think Helen should. Let me get them out. And I didn't get away from it. I don't
Before you get too far along.
I'm trying to record them, but it's impossible. You know, I'm very natural in nature. I pour the vacuum, and no one else is going to say anything, so I thought I would.
He's hungry.
I'm here to eat, but also we're here to talk for just a moment. Helen and Charles are surrounded by their 3 sons, by sisters, by cousins, by aunts, and most of all by friends. And there's no more appropriate way to say this than that 50 years is a very long time, especially in these days of shorter marriages. And as I told Charles, you know, we didn't think it was going to last 50 years ago, but sure enough it has. It might be well for one or two of you who want to say something special to get primed for it. We'll give you a chance to say so. I'll tell you what they've meant to me. I saw my first big league ball game because we went to Annapolis and Charles took us to see the Cleveland Indians play the Washington Senators. We had little Charles, who was 6 months maybe, in arms. It was a 15-inning game, 0-0 going into the 15th inning. Johnny VanMeter was pitching, and it was a great experience. I mean, Marion was really a fan for going home. But we remembered them in many different contexts, raising their little ones, coming here to retire. All of us in the family know that at least we'll get one birthday card on our birthday, because everyone else may forget, but Helen won't. So as we celebrate their life together, maybe one or two or three or four would like to say something about what they've meant to you. Now, our family's not bashful, so we'll start with the friends first and see if they want to have a word of appreciation for them. Anyone?
I'd like to say that I had Helen and Charles in my Sunday school class for 2 years. It was a perfect delight to have them. I don't know of anybody in the town of Litchfield who is more concerned about her friends and everybody in town than Helen VanMeter. And it's been a joy and a privilege to know her and Charles.
Thank you.
And to have the boys in school.
We moved back here 13 years ago. This was my hometown, but it came along and took me away for quite a while. So I'm back now, and I did not know Helen when I lived here before, but I've known her the last 13 years, and Charles, and they're just delightful people, and I don't know of anyone anywhere that has people in general at heart more than Helen and Charles.
I'd like to say that I think Helen is one of the sweetest persons I've ever met. She has a smile for everyone, and she belongs to the Extension Club that I belong to. She also attends the church I attend, and I haven't had the good luck I was supposed to meet her husband, but I certainly do know that.
Thank you.
I would like to say that Helen, along with Charles, a little bit, just practically raised my girls, so that's good, honestly.
I wonder how many little children could have said the same thing that Helen helped raise. Would they be in the hundreds, maybe, or the tens, or
150. She said 150.
150? All right, anyone else?
I don't know of any person in Litchfield that is more thoughtful than Helen VanMeter. Always coming to my door and knocking, or even something that's open. I really appreciate it. My children never did go to her as babysitters, but she had them in Sunday school, and we love her dearly.
It would be nice if she could be hearing what y'all are saying.
Yeah, we know that. We, Charles and I were just talking about that.
We'll write down some of these things.
Yeah, do
Take
that.
it off the tape so that you'll be able to
In
know.
other words, it's
It's being taken.
this is audible as well. Isn't it? I represent the Smiths.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Anyone else? Well, I'll say for you friends that are here, we have a homecoming every 3 years. And this fellow here takes charge of the Olympic programs. The Smiths win it every year, but he gives us a hard time on it. But anyway, what I want to say, my wife and I, with 3 boys, moved back here in 57, starting 56. And I learned that Charles and Helen were living here. And it took me forever to find out just where they were. And they were out across the railroad track on 54. Now, I had never met Charles until we met after that. Then they moved out to Golf where they are, Golf Drive where they are now. But I've enjoyed both of them an awful lot. There's a couple of things I want to say concerning Charles. I was coaching Little League when my boys were going through Little League, and I would use all sorts of techniques to get a run home, you know. And so one time I had a guy that was a little boy that could bunt. From the standpoint of a major league, that was unheard of, you know. So I let this guy bunt. He got on first base and the run came home. And Charles came up to me and says, "You never heard of a guy having a bunt like that. That's not good baseball." So, but he wasn't away. But anyway, that, and one other time, Philip...
6 runs behind when you bunt.
6 runs behind and you bunt. Charles is right.
I don't know whether Charles remembers that well or not.
As a baseball coach, you're a very good music director.
Philip was under Helen's care before he started the first grade, and so we would go by and pick Philip up. And one day picked him up, and they had pinto beans. And I said, they all invited us to dinner, evening meal, which I didn't bother me at all. I said, Charles, I just want to go out and get Billy and tell him we're going to eat here tonight. Let him come in, and I want you to see his reaction. So they were happy about this. So we came in and ready to eat. Billy looked the table over and saw his pinto beans. He said, let's go home.
Okay, we have time for one or two more, if you will, from outside the family. They don't know it, but I'm going to ask Doug and little Charlie, as we call him, and Bob to come up here for a minute.
Okay, boys, chop chop.
I just want to say that I've known Helen ever since I've been in Litchfield. She and I are in the same homemakers club together, and I consider it an honor to be able to put this forward for her in Charleston. I haven't met Charles till today, so I'm glad to meet you. And I think she's the grandest lady that we have in this community. So I think it's wonderful that we're able to have a beautiful day that we can celebrate this occasion.
Okay. Charles? Doug and Bob. There's an old story among the Romans that a very rich woman came into the house of a very poor woman, spouting all her jewels and talking about her wealth. And the poor woman simply called her 3 children in and said, "These are my jewels." Now, Helen has these 3 jewels. If you know anything about mother love, you know that she is a typical case of the one who loves her children, and they are her jewels. Charles has his own kind of special remembrance of them, playing ball and all of that. But these are the jewels that Helen and Charles have produced. And I think we ought to have this as a very special part of our celebration today, to thank you, young men, for being what you are as the product of these 50 years together. I think we ought to give them a special hand. Now, unless Marion tells me to do something else, why don't we get Helen and Charles up to cut our cake? Helen? Now, first, and you'll notice that when they feed each other, they have to go this way. Now, you want to take... I didn't ask you. I'm going to take... you take the knife. You hold her hand. You cut the first piece. Right through the decoration. Wait a minute, you're not through. Now you take a piece and feed her. Now watch this. I don't know who's going to cut the cake. I'm not going to say.
Well, I was doing pretty good until somebody put this in my hand.
Like the purple really through. Does he still use the pacifier?
You just don't believe it. That's what it is. Helen's middle son.
I'm the middle son. You're my grandfather. He's talking about it.
That's mine.
That's Helen's son.
Not much.
That's the place you ought to be. So I can't even breathe.
No, I know. It's still same kid.
Oh, where? Everybody. Hey, Bob, this side. Okay. Oh, that's what he is. He's the attorney there. That's right. Okay. Was he good? Can I bring you some fudge or something? Is that great? It doesn't matter where you got it. It doesn't matter where you got it. So that's right.
She's gone after Chase. Chase she's up.
Charlie wanted to be a doctor. I think Doug wanted to be a minister. I don't think Bobby really cares a whole lot. He has a good time.
this one real often. She's got a girl.
Don't look so attractive when they're eating, you know?
Yeah. Those are probably the best ones. So if you ever get over the Mammoth Cave, ask for me. I wish.
Since you got that thing in your hand. Pretty good.
Can we cut her on now? Or do you know that?
Yeah, they've been cutting on it.
She did.
I guess so.
Here you are.
Helen VanMeter 50th.
Let's stay young.
Got you in charge of everything.
Happy anniversary, Miss Helen. How you feeling? Helen, how you been feeling?
You know, I think he has a wife that's quite savvy.
Get him out of here. She was really nice. I don't think she enjoyed it. Congratulations. A lot more you
All right, excuse me, I'll get out of your way here. Excuse me.
That's too many. That's the biggest problem is just Thursday. That's party. They all go home. Not all. They all did. it's just annoying. It's just like last night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They park out. Some has a but they're out there, they're getting in their cars and making it's incredible. They walk up and down the street. 6 business. Yeah. And
That was their wedding picture, 50 years ago today, right up there.
Up there?
Right there.
It looks like Charlie. Didn't he? Yeah. Looks like him or Bobby, either one. Y'all going?
Are you leaving either?
You know, when we went to Florida in 73, Joe Simpson and Jen, they came and they were down there, and they came over. My sister
Yes, I knew you wasn't in the last game.
No, that was November. 4 years ago.
He was in the...